Today I'm checking out this power strip that was sent to me at no cost so I could do the review. Let's take this thing out of the box, see what it comes with, and, test it out. And out of the box, there's not really a whole lot to it. It does come with this little paper manual thing here that goes over some of the specs, but there's really not much to a power strip like this other than the key features here. So you have a really nice flat plug. I love it when they have these kind of plugs, because let's say you're going to put this behind a bookshelf or you have something that goes against the wall. And if this thing sticks out and has the cable coming out this direction, out the back of it, I mean, you have to have something off the wall like this far just to be able to have that plugged in the wall. But when you have a plug like this that is flat and the cable comes out the side, you can plug this thing in and now it's fit back behind the wall all the way to a point. Most houses have a trim going on the floor, and if you push that bookshelf back, it's really going to be hitting the trim. It's not going to be hitting the plug. So these right here just let you put pretty much whatever you need all the way up against the wall without having to keep it, out a ways. That I love, and honestly, I don't even buy power strips hardly anymore that don't have this type of plug unless they're just really not needed for anything like that. But in the house, this is basically what I look for. And it's got a pretty good size cord on it, so that's good. You can move it around. But the big things here is it's got 4 plugs here. And as you can see, they point the different directions. So if you do have something that sticks out far, you can have 2 this way and 2 this way, and they won't run into each other. It does have a power button, so that way you can turn these things on and off by just pressing the button. And it comes with this USB little section here, so you can have 2 USB-A and 2 USB-C cables plugged into this thing and still charge things like phones, headphones, whatever it is, your tablet. Now, it does say here USB total 20 watts. So it's going to have 20 watts shared among all these ports. So if you're using all 4 of these ports, you're probably going to get about 5 watts for each port. And it's nice and flat. It's not super thin, but it's got to still be long enough for the depth of the plug. But if you can look at this, look at that. This is really thin when it comes to having to be able to push a plug in and still provide power. So this is probably about as thin as you're going to get when it comes to a wall mount or anything like that, or something that can be pushed against the wall when it comes to these plugs. So I like that. That gives you just that much more space. You can hang this on the wall. So you would just need to put some screws in the wall here, maybe some nails and a stud, and then you could just hook it on those nails. So it's even mountable on the wall. And it's got these little rubber tabs down here. And I noticed it pretty quickly because I laid it here and look at that. It almost sticks to the table. You can't just easily move it. So if I was going to bring this, let's say with my laptop, which is actually what I intend to do with this, this is going to be in my laptop bag. But if I just laid it on the table and had my plugs in it, I wouldn't have to worry about like every time a cable moved, this whole thing's just sliding all around the desk. This actually is kind of grabbing the desk. You really have to put some push on it to make it move. Now, I know those may seem like tiny things for someone that's looking for a power strip to plug it in, but when you're looking for a power strip like this, you're not looking for just the cheap little, 6 plugs, that you pick up at your hardware store. You're looking for something like this for the functionality and the reason it is what it is. So I love the fact that I'd be able to plug everything I want in here, all that, and I could turn this thing on and off without having to unplug it off the wall. And I could lay it on the desk and have my stuff plugged in, and I wouldn't have to worry about it moving. That just would drive me crazy, to be honest with you. And again, very thin, so if I go and I plug this in, it's going to let me seat this plug all the way down. It pushes all the way in, and of course, it's going to house it in here. But that thing's coming in all the way to like here. So this is, again, a very minimal style power strip here, especially if you're going to hang it on the wall like this. You're not going to get much thinner. And it really has a lot of torque when it comes to holding this thing in. It's really going to hold that. So I like the way they put this together. It's got really nice connectors here that grab the plug really well. So again, you don't even have to worry about all those plugs just hanging out and falling on the ground that don't want to stay in there. These connectors, these plug connectors in here are really nice and tight. All right. Well, anyways, I hope this information was helpful. Thank you very much for watching. Y'all take care.